Welcome back. It is Sunday, November 20th in the NBA. I'm back with my two favorite picks of the day. But first, let's recap yesterday, a 1-2 day minus a little over 2 units. Now, our added play of the day, Shake Milton, is our only winner as we added his over 23.5 PRAs. He gets that no sweat. As always, if we do add a play, it's in the pinned comment and on our Twitter at Calling Our Shot. I also tweeted out, or I post a community post for our All-Stars as well. Now, let's talk about our two other losses, our best bets of the day that I talked about in the video. Fred VanVleet, Damian Lillard. Round of applause. Thanks for nothing, guys. You combined to shoot 6 for 32 from the field. Damian Lillard leaves with an injury, 2 for 23 from 3. Those guys couldn't buy a bucket. The best bet segment is really struggling. It's not because we're picking terrible plays. The guys just can't make any shots. And ultimately, we're asking for opportunity. They're giving it to us. They just aren't making their shots. And I wanted to take a step back and look at how the best bet segment has fared. And I just went to October 31st. Since then, best bet segment is 8-11. Really struggling. And it's not because, really the plays are bad. The guys just can't make shots. But on the other side, every other player prop that I've posted, 25-11. So the losses are the same at 11. The winners are 17 more. That way, if you go back to October 31st, it'll actually be the exact opposite. The best bet segment was like 14-2 or 12-1 or something like that. And then the other player props I posted were like 11-10. So it's just evening out, I think. Of course, I hope the best bet segment does hit because we put a little bit more on that. But definitely don't just play the best bet. I really like all the other plays. It's not like I'm putting 4 units on one and then 1 units on the other. They're very close in value. But without further ado, no added plays today. It is NFL Sunday, so if you want to check out our parlays and player props video, a crowd favorite that was posted last night, go check that out. 4 player props, a ladder play, and a moneyline parlay that smacked last week. And if you want to know my week 11 best spread picks, you can go check out that video. It's posted on Wednesday. I'll have both of them linked at the end of the video, in the pinned comment, and in the comment section, or in the description as well. You can check those out. Without further ado, let's hop into my best bet of the day. We're going with this, since we're talking about October 31st, Halloween, let's talk about a guy, Scary Terry Rozier. We're taking his over 20.5 points, minus 110 on DraftKings, putting 1.5 units on this over. If you want to take his, I would probably take this 21.5, no sweat bet. I'd take that. 22.5, I'm probably off of it. Terry Rozier likes to end on 22 points on the dot. And hopefully he scores 25 or more today. Now, if you told me at the end of the night after 8:30, because this game is a 6 p.m. Eastern tip-off, you told me the best bet segment can't catch a break again because Rozier can't buy a bucket, wouldn't be surprised because he's really struggling this year. But volume is king in the NBA, and I think volume will get him over this line. Now, on the year, Rozier averaging 21.5 points per game, but he's shooting 38% from the field, 32% from 3. But the big thing is he's averaging 21.6 field goal attempts per game, including 33 in their last game. And the volume is just ridiculous. This is a guy, if he can knock down literally over 40% of his shots, we should hit this with ease. To look at Rozier on his career, the last 2 years since he's been in Charlotte, 2020 to 2021, he was shooting 45% from the field, 39 from 3. Then the year before, last year, 44% from the field, 37% from 3. This is a guy that I know he doesn't shoot the most efficiently, but he just needs to shoot better than he has been doing so far. And the Hornets are going to be again without LaMelo Ball tonight. We'll see if Dennis Smith Jr. plays, but DSJ doesn't shoot a ton. And ultimately, Rozier played 7 games without LaMelo. He's averaged 22.7 points per game, a 23.9 field goal attempts per game. He's shooting more points. He's shooting more field goal attempts than he is scoring points per game. But look, it doesn't matter. He took this over in 5 of 7 games. His 2 misses, he ended with 19 points on the dot. And the 2 games he went under, he shot 1 for 9 from 3 against the Washington Wizards, who he plays today. And he shot 6 for 20 from the field versus Portland, shooting like 25, 30%. Look, I know Rozier, he's a volume shooter, and we're going to need him to knock down some shots today, but I think he can do it. He's had a good track record versus the Wizards in his career. He's averaged 24 points per game in his last 9 versus Washington on 18.9 field goal attempts per game. So he's shooting more than that and hitting this over in 7 of 9 games. Both of those games he went under. He ended with 19 points. And I just think Rozier's he's got a lot of volume. He's going to shoot it a ton. I don't see the Wizards blowing out the Hornets or the vice versa happening in this game. So we're just asking Rozier, shoot above 30%. That's all we're asking for. I think Rozier's certainly capable of putting 1.5 units on his over 20.5 points. I think he has a very good game, or at least he scores a lot of points, but he doesn't do a lot else, but he's going to play a lot of minutes. I really like Terry Rozier today. Now let's move on to my second and final play of the day. And we're going back to the under of the day strategy. And we're going with Harrison Barnes, under 13.5 points, minus 115 on Barstool. I'd still play this at 12.5. If it goes lower, do not play it at 11.5. But let's talk about Harrison Barnes. And look, I just think this is the perfect day to fade Mr. Barnes, as they are at home taking on the Pistons. Obviously, Barnes plays for the Kings. Now, Barnes enters this year averaging 11.6 points per game. In my opinion, his line should stay at 11.5, should never go over that. And it's gone over because Barnes has gone over in the last 2 games, scoring 16 points on the dot in 2 straight. However, Barnes yet to hit this over in 3 straight games this season, and he's actually under in 9 of 14 overall. Now, you look at Barnes, not a volume shooter. Like Rozier, volume normally not his king. He's at 8 or fewer field goal attempts in 6 straight games. And the only reason he's really hitting this over is because of free throw attempts. He's had 4, 6, 8 free throw attempts kind of per game. And in the games he doesn't get to the free throw line, which free throws are unpredictable. He's not even getting close to this line. And they're going to have probably Bojan Bogdanovic of the Pistons guarding him. Bojan, not notoriously a guy that fouls a lot. In fact, he only averages 1.9 fouls per game. Saddiq Bey is not out there, which is probably a good thing. Saddiq Bey loves to foul too. And neither is Isaiah Stewart. So maybe this Pistons team doesn't let teams get into the bonus as often. But you look at other guys, Barnes likely going to have to guard Bojan on the defensive side. Bojan's always running around, and since they don't have Cade Cunningham or Saddiq Bey, you're going to see Bojan be a pretty big part of this offense. So could Barnes get into foul trouble? Potentially. We're not counting on it. But also the Kings, 9.5-point favorites. You got De'Aaron Fox, you got Kevin Huerter, you got Domantas Sabonis. All these guys capable of shooting their own shot. Also don't have, great defenders on them, so they can go out there and get their own. You look at the last 2 games, Barnes, he shot very well from the field, unlike Terry Rozier. He shot 62% and 57% from the field in the last 2 games. That's just due some regression. Barnes, a career 45% from the field shooter. Sure, he might knock down a 3 or 2 here and there, but this is not a guy that's shooting a ton, and I think he's due a little bit of regression. I think this is a great spot to fade him. Like I said, I think this line should always be 11.5. I don't think it should be higher, but look, thanks to 2 overs, they're putting his line a little bit higher. I know it's a fast-paced game against the Pistons, but this is going to be a Kings team that's not going to play him a ton of minutes. He's not going to see 40 minutes. He's going to see, 25 to 30. You got De'Aaron Fox probably playing a lot of those. Domantas Sabonis also being guarded by Marvin Bagley. I just think this line's a little bit too high. Maybe we'll try to make this under of the day a thing going forward in the future videos, because we had to start betting some more unders. The overs are just not hitting recently. But, of course, got Harrison Barnes taking your under 13.5 points. Those are my only 2 plays of the day. No added plays. I was heavily considering Mr. Julius Randle's over in points, but I can't do it. I can't bet on Julius Randle right now. Although I do think he has a pretty good game against the Phoenix Suns, the early tip-off in that one. But time to shout out some COS All-Stars. Appreciate you guys as always for supporting the channel. We got Don, we got Erica, we got Neotimpaz, Joshua, Nick, we got Davon, Dequane, I definitely pronounced that wrong, Rodrigo, James, and David. Thank you guys all so much for the support. Can't do it without you guys. We really can't do it without the All-Stars. They're the reason I wake up every single morning, despite the bricks that were thrown at my house thanks to Dame and Fred VanVleet last night. But, of course, 2 videos pop up on the screen. NFL Week 11 parlays and player props right here. And, of course, our Week 11 best spread picks. You can go check out both those videos. As always, make sure you leave down below your favorite picks, because I'm always curious what you guys are picking. I know there's a lot of games on today, but it's Sunday. I don't really like forcing a lot of picks. I don't know. Something about Sundays are a little bit sketchy. I think unders hit more often than not. I don't know what's going on in the NBA, but Sundays are a little sketchy. Don't force a lot of picks today. Those are my only 2. We're obviously going Harrison Barnes under 13.5 points. And our best bet of the day, Terry Rozier over 20.5 points. Hopefully both those 2 hit. Hopefully we can go 2-0. Have a pretty profitable day. Like I said a couple seconds ago, our parlays and player props videos on the screen for the NFL. We got our 4 player props. We got a ladder play. We got a money line parlay. And of course, our Week 11 spread picks video. You can go check out that. We've already got a 2-0 start to the NFL so far this week. Let's make a clean sweep. Why not? Who says no? Appreciate you guys as always for tuning in. I'm Austin. If you want to become an All-Star, hit that join button, subscribe, like, do all those things. See you guys back again Monday. Monday Night Football video live later tonight. See you guys then. Peace out.